This is fair use, fair use. I do not get paid or benefit from none of these videos. According to the Act 1976 Act, this is only for educational purposes only. So, thank you.
全部吹没了。
哎呀，好黑啊！我的好水的，天哪！天哪，那好可怜！妈呀！看我前头。
Days, over 3,300 dead, 50,000 still missing. Gravediggers burying strangers because no one knows their names. And a government accused of abandoning its own people. 50,000 souls still unaccounted for. The earthquakes lasted seconds. The damage could last generations. Can a country this wounded ever truly recover? "11 days after Venezuela's catastrophic twin earthquakes, the death toll has climbed to at least 3,342 as authorities begin burying dozens of victims who remain unidentified. According to figures released by Venezuela's Information Ministry on July 5th, at least 3,342 people have died, and another 16,700 have been injured. Nearly 200 buildings, most of them in La Guaira, have completely collapsed, leaving more than 17,000 people homeless and sheltering in temporary camps. The government has not given any figure for those still missing, but the UN estimates that as many as 50,000 people may still be unaccounted for after the shocks. Many families are still trying to search for relatives in the rubble. As international rescue teams packed up and ended attempts to find survivors, attention shifted to mourning those lost and burying the remains that families have recovered from the ruins. In a secluded area of La Esperanza Cemetery in La Guaira, grave diggers buried more than 150 bodies still unidentified since the earthquakes. A sea of white crosses lined the cemetery, each bearing the date June 24, 2026, and a small bouquet.
¿Ya la metiste en la bolsa?
Falleció mi madre, falleció mi abuela, falleció mi abuelo, mi hermano y mi hermana embarazada de 8 meses que todavía no la conseguimos debajo de los escombros. Después de 11 días todavía estamos solicitando una grúa telescópica para que nos ayude a levantar los escombros y poderla sacar de allí donde está. Sea viva o sea muerta, pero nosotros queremos reclamar los cuerpos de nuestros familiares.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory and praises to my power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakaha Chvarash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and taught us his truth. And shalom to the elect, scattered in the four corners of the earth. That's praising the names of Yahweh, like Yahweh Shai daily. To you, I want to say shalom. This is Brother Nakah, come back with another edifying lesson, Lord willing, as well as exhorting. And you see the first 2 clips of the video. Well, multiple clips. Tornadoes will rip through China, kill at least 8. And I gave you the update on Venezuela. You see what I'm saying? More than 50,000 bodies unaccounted for. They said the death toll raised up to 3,800. And they buried over 5,000, I believe. Then I showed you the last video towards the end of the intro with a man digging for 11 days to find his daughter's body. You see what I'm saying? We all know that this is nothing just from the Lord, you know, because a lot of people now fearing Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, and the power he has in his judgment. You see? Because at the end of the day, he's the issuer of death. And we always go to these scriptures first before we get anything else, just to give you the constant reminder who you're dealing with. You're dealing with a power that's is not to be played with. Psalm 68, verse 20. He that is our power, he is the Most High of our salvation. And unto the Most High Yahweh, the Lord, belong the issuers from death. So he's the issuer of death. Nothing cannot be commanded, or what I'm trying to say. Nobody can die without his say so. You know, no big storm can happen like that without his say so. Because when you understand that he controls evil and good, which I always go to, 4, 5, and 7, that gives you the constant fear and reminder what power we serving and dealing with. You see what I'm saying? Most people they still take it as a joke. They said it's just something that just happened. Catastrophic winds, they let's say Mother Nature, but no, it's all of Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? They try to set up the heart machines, but who gave Esau the power to do so? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You see what I'm saying? What's called a blower and the smith? I know that's someone in Isaiah. We'll get that first. So this is Isaiah 54, verse 16. Behold, I create the smith that bloweth the coals in a fire and bring forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. You see? So he will put the idea inside Esau, mind to make a heart machine like that. You see what I'm saying? But but majority I want to touch on also over there in China. They be telling y'all that these nations are getting judged for what that they have done, mainly to the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? What's that? I'm trying to think. What's this? A Lamentation 2? Let me see. When the nations, they was happy when we came down to a Lord's state. All right, yeah, I found it. I was in the right chapter. But it's Lamentations 2, starting at the 14th verse. So the prophets have seen vain, foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity, to turn away their captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and cause of bashment. All that pass by clap their hands at thee, they hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem. We know that it's a people before it's a place. Saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole world? Yeah, because we're supposed to be made holy, and separated from people. We was given the covenants. You see what I'm saying? But these nations, they was happy when we came down to a lower state. Now, ultimately, this happened back then in the Babylonian Empire when we have a first fall. But it's happening today. All nations have what I'm trying to say. All nations are against Jake. You see what I'm saying? They all had a hand in our downfall. So they're happy to see us in a lower state. We all said that it's not a color thing, but now they are getting punished for what they're doing, and they're going to continue to get punished all the way up until Yahweh sent his only begotten son back, Yahweh Shai, to take over the earth. Let's get on Luke 16 right quick. And we probably just get to the main point. The rich man and Lazarus. I just want to get when the dogs were licking the wounds. This is Luke 16. Let's start at verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, and we are Lazarus, so-called Jakes in this story, and the rich man, so-called Edomites, which was laid at his gates full of sores, and desired to be fed with crumbs which fell from the rich man's tables. Moreover, the dogs that came and licked his sores. And it came to pass, and the dogs represent the other nations, basically licking the sores of us when we came down to a lower state. They all, building shop in neighborhoods, shooting you niggas in the back, poisoning you. You see what I'm saying? Taking over, your land and benefiting off your labor technically. That's all I'm coming into this. So they made our affliction harder than what it's supposed to be. Let's go to Zechariah 1:15. This is Zechariah chapter 1, verse 15. I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased to have forward their affliction. And that's what these heathen nations did to us. You see what I'm saying? They forward our affliction here. But now, these other heathen nations, Venezuela, we got jakes everywhere, four corners of the earth. And Venezuela, we got some jakes there too. They mainly Northern Kingdom. And we got some jakes over there in China. You see what I'm saying? They speck of birds. But I'm just here to tell you, you see what I'm saying? These other nations and where they at are catching hell. You see, let's get Ezekiel 25 in the NOT version to show you that it was a judgment going on them, and they will continue to get judged all the way until, like I said earlier, Yahweh sent his only begotten son back. So this is Ezekiel 25, and it says the judgment of the Gentile nations. It got Ammon, but I want to get an NOT version, which I don't got it. It's all good. But I'm going to read this first. The word of the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua came again unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Amorites, which is the so-called Japanese, and prophesied against them, and said unto the Ammonites, hear the word of the Lord power, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. This said the Lord power, because thou hast saidest against my sanctuary, when I was profane, and against the land of Israel, when it was desolate, and against the house of Judah, when they went into captivity. Behold, therefore I will deliver thee to the man of the east for a possession, and they should set their palaces in thee, and make the dwellers in thee. They should eat their fruit, and they should drink thy milk. And I'll make a Rabbahad, a stable for camels, Amorites, a crouching place for flocks. Ye should know that I am the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. For this said the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua power, because thou hast clapped thy hands and stamped with thy feet and rejoiced the heart with all despite against the land of Israel. Behold, therefore I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and I will deliver thee for a spoil to the heathen. I will cut thee off from the people. I will cause thee to perish out of the countries. I will destroy thee, and they should know that I am the Lord Yahweh, my Hashem Yahushua. And this is, happened back then, but this is going to happen now. You see what I'm saying? Now, we're just going to read Moab, and that's this said the Lord, power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because that Moab and Seir do say, behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen. Therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from his cities, which are his frontiers, the glory of the country, try Beth Jesimoth, and Baal Meon, and Karathim, if I'm pronouncing it right, unto the men of the east with the Amorites, and I will give them a possession that the Amorites may not be remembered among the nations. And I will execute judgment upon Moab, and they should know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And you already know what's going on with the Edomites. You see what I'm saying? They got the Philistines. I'm going to just read Edom. This said the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua power, because Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, this said the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make desolate for Teman, and Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they should do to Edom according to my anger, according to my fury, and they should know my vengeance, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua power. And that's what also happen in the future once we get in the kingdom of heaven. All these nations going to be underneath bondage, underneath us, but your Edomites going to be done away with after 1,000 years. You see what I'm saying? Because you would not be needed no more, because the whole plan of being righteousness. There's no point for wickedness. You see what I'm saying? But these are the messages to the other nations. I will try to get the NLT version, but the KJV version just as good. And this is a great example why these other nations is catching hell. Even before Yahweh returns. You see, these nations is going to continue to catch hell because our curses is going on them. You see what I'm saying? They all divided. They can't agree on nothing. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is about to make these devils go into war with each other. You see what I'm saying? So, we get Jeremiah 25 too. Starting at 18. That's also good too. So Babylon will be judged, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 25. We'll start verse 17. They took the cup at the Lord's Yahweh by Shemiah hand and made all nations to drink unto whom the Lord Yahweh by Shemiah has sent me. We know that cup is a cup of indignation. You see what I'm saying? His judgment. To wit, Jerusalem and the sinners of Judah, the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them desolate and to make them a desolation, astonishment, and hissing, and a curse as it is this day. And ain't we under the curses today? And mainly the 2/3 of our people would get judged. We know that the elect would get saved. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, we know that this is the cruel Lord, which is Nero 47. This is it's like a spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt over here. And his servants, his princes, and his people, and all mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azar, and Akron, and a remnant of Ashdod, Edom, which is a so-called supplicant white man, Moab, which is a so-called Chinese, and the children of Ammon, so-called Japanese, and all the king of Tyrus, which, Babylon the Great is like the modern-day king of Tyrus, but that's also, I believe, that's the Haramites. And all the kings of Zidon, the kings of the isles, which are beyond the sea, Dedan, and Tuman, and Buz, and all that are to the utmost corners, and all the kings of Arab, and all the kings of Megal people that dwell in the desert, Arab, the Arabians, and all the kings of Zamir, and all the kings of Elam, which is the east, which is the Ishmaelites, and all the kings of the Medes, which is the Medes is the modern day Russia, which is the intelligence of the Edomites, and all the kings of the north, far near one another, and all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak should drink after them. Therefore thou should say unto them, this said the Lord Yahweh by Shemi shall host the Most High Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall, and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup in thy hand to drink, then shall say unto them, this said the Lord Yahweh by Shemi shall host, ye shall certainly drink. For lo, I being to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished, you should not be unpunished, for I will call for the sword upon the inhabitants of earth, said the Lord Yahweh by Shemi shall host. And that's the main thing. Because it is a kind of long power. Let's skip through, let's jump down a little bit. To 31. I guess, and a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord Yahweh by Shemi shall have a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked the sword, said the Lord Yahweh by Shemi shall. This said the Lord Yahweh by Shemi shall host. Behold, evil should go forth from nation to nation, and a great river should be raised from the east of the earth. Up from the coast of the earth, so like you. And the slaying of the Lord Yahweh by Shemi shall be at the day that one end of the earth, even unto the other. Yeah, earth even unto the other end of the earth. They should be limited, neither gathered nor buried. They should be dung upon the ground. And I'm going to stop right there. But yeah, so these other nations have their judgment coming to them, and they're getting judged right now. As you can see in this video, even Jake getting judged. You see what I'm saying? So these dumb heathens was not let off easy at all. You know, Yahweh by Shemi, he's in the works of casting down judgment on these other nations. As he did it back then, he's doing it now. Again, but it's gonna be worse this time once he returned. But that's mainly it. You know, I wanted to go, a different direction with this video. You see what I'm saying? But we can't get Luke, is it chapter 6? Well, I could have gone to Matthew 24. Let's go to, I think it's 9. Yeah, Luke chapter 9. Let's say that. Shalakia right quick. Let me find it. Because I had this also, but I was reading something else. We get Luke 21 and 9. You see what I'm saying? So let's get Luke 21. I thought it was 9:21. And Shalaka for the noise in the back. That's my AC. Luke 21 and verse 9. But when ye shall hear wars and the commotions, Salakia, be not terrified, for these things must come to pass. But the end is not by and by. Then said unto them, nations shall rise against nations, kingdom against kingdom. Earthquakes should be devoured places, and famines and pestilence, and the fearful sights and the great signs should that be from heaven. And this is a sign from Yahweh Bashim with this earthquake. They still going through it over there, and then they talking about in the video they probably can't even rebuild. You see what I'm saying? And I know pestilence is gonna come from the earthquake, because sewage pipe messed up, ain't no clean water, you can't get no access to food, so that's a cause of disease. That you see over there in China, this big tornado hit, killed 8 people, and you never know what type of pestilence could come from there. And let's go ahead and close it out with Isaiah 29. I think it's Isaiah 29. Because I know I read a lot. So yeah, Isaiah 29 and verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua and hosts of thunder, and with earthquake and a great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. You see, so, I'm just in it right there, so, all these nations' judgment, they're getting judged, and it will continue to be, and it will continue to happen. So, Lord willing, if I let you edify, you got something from it, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. I want to give all glory and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Shalom.